What's going on, guys? PX1020 back here with a brand new video here at Le Mans, trying to not butcher any French words today, as you already know me and my French, we do not get along, but we are ranked in 19th place for this race, so it's gonna be a very interesting one because we are ranked with a lot of fast drivers. We aren't ranked like the Nations Cup race where we were just ranked against some of the fastest drivers in North America, but these guys are basically second best compared to those guys. So hopefully we can do well on this race, as it's going to be really difficult to try to work our way up into the pack, especially in the NSX. Now, before we start, I did do a paid partnership with the team ERS. Now, if you guys don't know who ERS are, they are a really cool community of racers just like me who like to race clean and just have a really fun time. They were able to give me this really cool livery, this black and orange livery that kind of resembles the McLarens back like 2-3 years ago. So really cool partnership that we were able to get together. And if you guys are looking for a team that races really clean, but not only that, join a community where they are avid racers just like you that just want to race cleanly and just have fun. Definitely check out ERS, but again, limited spots are available, so you guys have to check them out as soon as possible, and hopefully you guys are able to get inside the communities. And if you guys want to learn more about them, check out the links in the description, as I did put their Instagram and a link to their Discord if you guys want to check them out. Definitely have a look at them and be a part of a really good racing community where you guys can have some fun, clean racing with some good guys. Now, when jumping into the race, I already knew that I was going to struggle on here because the NSX really isn't the best car on this racetrack. Some of the best cars on this racetrack are the cars that are going to be really good with horsepower, like the GTR, the Supra, cars like that. So I already knew that we were going to struggle a little bit, but I mean, I was just going to try to put as good of a challenge as I can and see if we can finish somewhere not in last, as we can at least increase ourselves in the driver ratings. So before we jump into qualifying, we're trying to reach a goal of 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you guys really enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. Anyways, that's not promoting myself. Let's jump straight into qualifying. So qualifying in Le Mans, it's very interesting because the main tactic here to get a really good qualifying lap is to be behind a car and follow them in the slipstream. Now, the only thing is that the straightaway is so long is that you do follow the car ahead of you in the slipstream, but you sometimes end up getting too good of a run and accidentally pass them on the qualifying lap, or end up going side by side when you head into the first or second chicane on that long straightaway in the back. So let me show you guys an example here as we are coming down our first and only flyer lap, as we only had enough time to do one qualifying lap. But you can see the car right behind me is just gaining so much speed as he's in our slipstream here as we're heading into the first corner now. And you can see that he's had to kind of back out there as we come out into the first chicane. And our slipstream partner in 14th place had a penalty, so we had to let go of him. And that costed us some time on the qualifying lap. So as we come into the final chicanes now to finish our qualifying, we actually missed our last chicane, as we did get overtaken by the Supra ahead of us. And we shift our way to the inside to try to get out of the way of the cars behind us in case if they were faster than us. But that didn't help out, as we actually qualified in a terrible spot all the way back in 18th place. But although it is a terrible spot to qualify, it is manageable because of the slipstream on that back straightaway. And I mean, again, if we are just able to just keep our nose clean, stay away from everybody, and hopefully get around as many cars as we can throughout the slipstream, we should be doing good. But if you got first place on this racetrack, you would get 268 points added to your total for the standings. But I don't think we're going to do that. But, I mean, you never know. So, jumping into the intro here, the strategy here, you had two strategies. So, you can either run the hards throughout the entire race, as those were the required tires, or you can start on the mediums like I did, and then run those all the way till the end of the race until lap number 6, and then switch off from the mediums to the hards. No fuel was really required here, as the slipstream was allowed you to feel safe here, because you really didn't have to push the car that much, especially when you're in the slipstream zone. You could just short shift and save as much fuel as you can. So let's jump into the race and let's see how we can do here as we are waiting for the 3-2-1. So coming to the race now, we get our 3-2-1 and we are a go as we head into the first chicane now of the final part of the racetrack. You see there's a Porsche already getting knocked out wide as we head into the second chicane now, and we are finally on the straightaway to begin our race. As you see, the Porsche now has a half a second penalty. We still haven't even crossed the start finish line, as we finally do, and the Porsche already has a half a second penalty. So that's one thing that I really had to keep an eye on, as a lot of penalty spots here, as if you ran a little bit wide, you got a penalty. You ran to the back of a car, you got a penalty. So it's very tricky here. and especially the penalty zones here are really not the best, as they are held right before a very long straightaway, so you can lose a ton of momentum, and it can cost you more than half a second or a second that you're actually trying to serve when you guys are doing your penalties. So that's something I really had to be careful for when racing around these guys. As you can see, the 2 cars ahead of us are just racing really hard here as we come down for the first time. Now as we follow the 2 cars ahead of us, we're just staying in the slipstream here, as we have a car right behind us too following us in the slipstream. And 17's gonna try to make a move onto the inside of the Porsche, but we get a really good run here as we're gonna help out the Lexus right ahead of us. And me and the Porsche are going side by side now as we head into the first chicane of the back straightaway. On the outside here, as we get plenty of room, but he actually runs wide, makes contact with us. We make contact with him, and we are able to force our way into 17th place as the Porsche still has to serve his penalty. And luckily, because we got, you know, so pushed to the right, we didn't cut the corner, but we almost did. And luckily we didn't get a penalty because of that. So jumping to the end now of lap number 1, you see how much time we're gaining on 16th place as we head into this right-hander. Braking as early as we can to try to get a good exit here that leads us into the Porsche curves. We're trying to get a good exit here, but unfortunately we don't, and the Lexus is able to power out and gain a little bit more of an advantage on us as we head into the final part of the lap. So coming to the final part of the lap, there's a yellow flag there, and you see there's a car out, and it's the BMW. So we're able to gain position there, but we're also able to gain another position because one of the cars goes into the pits, and I think he's going to switch off the hards to the mediums. So reversing the strategy of us, as he's actually going to come in on lap number 1, switch off from the hards, and switch them off to the mediums as we jump up into lap number 2. So coming to lap number 2, you see 14th place goes very wide, goes into the grass, hits the wall, and we got to take evasive action as we almost run to the back of him, as we lose a lot of momentum because of that. But luckily he gets a half a second penalty, so that should help us out here as we come down the straightaway, leading us down this long straightaway that's going to lead us to the first chicane. We're going side by side with the Lexus here, but the Lexus has a lot better of a power than us. He's got better horsepower than us, so he's going to hold off onto the outside here. So we're going side by side still down this long straightaway, and we're just going to have to brake as late as we can, and hopefully the Honda traction can hold us here and allow us to make the overtake as we brake later than the Lexus. And we're able to make a 15th place there as we come out this final part of the chicane and secure our 14th position, as the car behind us has to serve penalty. But not only that, the car ahead of us had to serve penalty. So let's see if that's going to help us out as we jump a little further down the straightaway. So coming to the end of the straightaway now, heading to these 2 right-handers. We're catching up to the Alpha, and I believe it's the McLaren ahead of him. And we're just trying to catch up to them and stay right behind on the slipstream and see if we can maximize that and hopefully get around them as we head into the Porsche curves. So coming to the Porsche curves, staying right behind the Alpha. This is going to probably be our best part of the racetrack, as we do have mediums, but not only that, the Honda NSX is just really good on the cornering. So if we're able to just gain some time on the corner, we should be good on the straightaway if we could stay behind the slipstream with some cars, and that should minimize the amount of damage we're going to take on the straight line speed, and hopefully we can at least hold our position as we jump now into turn number 3, or lap number 3. So coming to lap number 3 now, going back into the second part of the racetrack as we're going to head into this long straightaway again. The car right behind the Alpha has a half a second penalty, so that should help us out as we go sneak our way onto the outside of the Alpha. We're going side by side again as we head down the straightaway, leading us into the first chicane of the straightaway. And the Alpha just has too much power, and also the benefit of the slipstream of the car ahead of him. And he's going to be able to go ahead of us as he flashes his lights. I'm not sure why, but he flashes his lights now as we head into the first chicane. So coming to the first chicane, car ahead of him has to serve his penalty, so he does so there. And we're going to make a move onto the inside. It is the McLaren on the outside there. And we're able to gain a position as we are following the slipstream of the Alpha. And that is actually propelling us forward really fast, as we're going to see if we're going to make a move onto the inside here. Getting right behind his back bumper, we move onto the inside as we head into the second chicane. Are we going to be able to make a move here? Brake as late as we can, but the Alpha brakes later. And he's going to hold off his position there, as we are now demoted into 13th place after trying to make an overtake on 12th. But we're going to fall back in line and just ride along here with him, as hopefully we can use our momentum to help us out to catch up to 11th place, as that's kind of like the main goal here now, is to catch up to the cars ahead of us. So moving into the inside here, as we just got too good of a run, and if we try bump drafting him on the corner, I mean, that could have risked spinning him out. We're on the inside here as we come into this right-hander. If we are able to get the secure the position as we come into the left-hander here, hold our spot there, and we're gonna secure 12th place from the Alpha and work our way to the end of lap number 3. So coming to the end of lap number 3, coming out of the Porsche curves, leading us into the final 2 chicanes. See, there's another yellow flag. Let's see what happened here. Coming to the first chicane, you see that there's a Ford just sitting on the outside of the racetrack, so not sure what happened to him. There's a lot of cars I've seen recently that have just for some reason just sit on the side of the racetrack. I don't know if they just give up and forget about it, just quit out or what, but it's the second time, or like not a second time, but a few times I've seen cars just sitting on the side of the racetrack on this game. So not sure exactly what's going on, but I'll take it as we are now in 11th place on the 4th lap, leading us into the right-hander. So coming to the right-hander, we actually outbreak ourselves. We lose 11th place and we lose 12th place to the Lexus. So a costly mistake there as we lose 2 positions, and now we are on the back burner of the Lexus. So gonna see if we can help out the Lexus to push the Alpha and try to catch up to 10th place. That's gonna be our main goal right here, is to try to catch up to 10th place and try to make up as many positions as I can. As I don't know what their strategy is. I don't know if they're gonna stay on the hards or if they're on the mediums right now as they come into the first chicane, but we have to do everything we can to make up as many positions as we can, since we still have to serve our pit stop in 1 lap time. So coming out of the first chicane here, we're still following the Lexus here on the straightaway, and you can see how much time we're actually gaining on 10th. We can now see his name on the top of his car, and we're just gonna follow the Lexus and the Alpha here and just maximize the slipstream here as the Lexus actually pulls out to the inside, as he did not want to help out the Alpha here. We're gonna go behind the Alpha, give him a little bit of a tap here, but we decide differently as we are actually catching up very, very close to the second chicane. So didn't want to give him a bump going into that second chicane and force him into a mistake, because then that could have given us a penalty, but not only that, would have been really dirty racing. So jumping into lap number 6 to the end of the long straightaway, we're staying right behind 12th place. As you can see, we caught up to 10th place now, and it's a 4-way battle, actually a 5-way battle for 10th place, as 14 is now right behind us. Fast forwarding here down this straightaway here, going into Indianapolis, we're catching up to 12, but we're just a little too far back to make any type of move. But you can see the Alpha gets very, very loose. It's going to hold up 12th place there as we come into this right-hander, breaking as late as we can, as the 2 cars ahead of us going side by side, and that should be able to benefit us as we come out of this corner. But unfortunately, it does not, and the Alpha is able to get back ahead of the Lexus ahead of him, or behind him. And we just have to fall back in line here and just follow them here, going into Porsche curves, and come into the pit stop here, as first place is now making this pit stop. So let's see what's going to happen here. So coming into the middle part of Porsche curves, they're still right behind the Lexus and the Alpha, as they almost went side by side going into it. But you see the Lexus is just getting very, very antsy. He's trying to make a move onto the inside, just finding any type of gap around the Alpha. But that's going to hold him up. But unfortunately, we can't make any type of overtake because we're going to have to come into the pits here. So coming into the pits here is very, very tricky. As you see, there's a car ahead of us that has the penalty. We're going to come into the pits, brake as late as we can into the chicane that leads us into the pit lane. And we're going to come in, switch off from the mediums to the hards, but not put any fuel. And let's see where we come out here, as right now we are currently in 17th, 16th, 18th. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're in 16th now, and we get overtaken, and we get demoted all the way to 17th position. So strategy did not work. Probably should just ran the hards the entire way, but I mean, we were able to get some cool, good racing here, as we are now in 17th place on the last lap, and just focusing our sights on 16 and see if we can catch up to him. But I don't think we're going to be able to, as again, the NSX is just very, very weak on this racetrack, and you can see the results right here as we come into the final part of the race. So coming to the final chicanes now, we're going to finish this race in 17th place, and this is like our one and only try that we did. So I was happy with getting 17th place. We at least gained a position from where we started, as I was not expecting much, especially in the Honda. And we were able to at least not lose that much driver rating points. I think we only lost like about 500, so it was all right. We had some fun racing. I was able to show you guys some entertaining content, and at least finish one spot before or ahead of where we started at. So can't be too mad about that. So ending the race with 89 points. It kind of was a throwaway race, so just gonna have to focus on the next one in Sardinia, and hopefully we can make some points there and catch up to some of the guys on the leaderboards, and hopefully we can finish in the top 5 for the manufacturer standings in North America. So if you guys really enjoyed the video, again, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.